Bruce Mehlman, a former Assistant Secretary of Commerce for Technology Policy in the Bush administration. Bruce, congratulations for your victory last week.
Thank you. The media hasn't given me the recognition I deserve, so I appreciate your congratulating me.
Well, I knew you were the architect of the whole thing. So
Absolutely.
So now everybody knows. So Bruce, you're a technology expert. You're a strategist on technology and media for the Republican Party. Overall, what does this election victory mean, do you think, broadly for technology policy in the next 2 years?
Well, most broadly, it seems this being the third wave major change election in a row, it seems to me it means that voters aren't happy with the direction of the country. They don't believe that the last 2 years represent the change they were looking for, and that if the Republicans can't deliver on their desire for smaller government and for more effective government, then we can expect that Republicans get thrown out in 2 years and everything changes anew. So I think it's writ large, it's voters speaking to unhappiness with the direction of the country, particularly given the sour economy. More narrowly on tech and telecom, both parties like to claim they're the party of tech and telecom, and if one were honest, neither party owns it completely. Republicans typically have been better for the technology and telecom community on broad business questions, questions of taxation, litigation, unionization, like the card check proposal, which business did not like, but the administration put forward. On trade, where the Republican Party has typically been a little bit more open markets and global minded. And on questions of keeping regulations low, where again, Republicans have been stronger. That said, Democrats have often done many things that Silicon Valley and technology and technologists around the country support. They usually are a little more supportive on funding, particularly innovation funding. So research and development, for example, research and development credit, although that's a tax issue, so it sort of plays both ways. STEM education, which stands for science, technology, engineering, and math education. Health information technology, alternative energy, things where the government is part of the solution through its funding. Democrats have typically been willing to write bigger checks than Republicans have. So it's on the business issues. I think the Republican gain in the House is very positive news for technology companies around the country. And on the areas where there is a desire for more government funding, I think the new environment is going to be very deficit conscious and less government funding, whether it's research or alternative energy.
Do you think that technology played a role in the minds of voters in terms of the swing towards the Republican Party?
I think if you looked around the country, you could find at least 10 voters nationwide for whom technology issues were the reason they voted the way they did.
10?
Obviously, I'm being facetious. There may be people who work for, maybe a few people who work for technology companies. Exit polling demonstrates there really aren't, tech policy issues aren't salient with voters. It's not what inspires people to go to the polls, and it's rarely what people are pulling the lever on, particularly when the economy is doing so badly. Now, technology and technology policy is really important to the long-term health of the country. And so a lot of folks would say that a more robust pro-tech agenda would have made for a healthier economy, and that in that regard, there's a very impactful, albeit indirectly impactful issue. But you're just not going to find voters who said, I voted this way or that way because of privacy or telecommunications decisions. It's just not, over the last 30 years, it's not what voters say was on their minds.